Recently, Donald Trump has been in the spotlight for various reasons, from his political views and controversial remarks to a series of actions that have kept him the topic of conversation. One of the most captivating discussions, however, centers around his marriages. Over the years, he has been married to 3 different women, with his current wife being former First Lady Melania Trump. Unlike his prior marriages, Donald and Melania appear to be going strong after nearly 20 years together. While many are curious about the secret to their enduring relationship, there's also interest in Melania's thoughts on Donald's ex-wives. At 54, Melania has finally shared her opinions about the women who came before her, and her comments are quite surprising. Donald Trump's marital history has been in the public eye for over 30 years, but not everyone knows the full story of his past marriages. It all began in 1976, when the Trump empire was just starting out, and Donald was not yet a global name. He was a wealthy man known locally but not yet internationally famous. One day, while dining at a restaurant, he noticed a striking woman named Ivana, who was there with friends. Captivated by her, he secured the most expensive table in the place to draw her attention. At the time, Ivana was living in Montreal, working as a model and part-time ski instructor after moving from Czechoslovakia a few years earlier. However, when she met Donald, she was in New York for a modeling job. Donald noticed her at dinner and, after arranging to join their table, struck up a conversation. According to Ivana, he soon realized that simple flirting wouldn't win her over and decided to adopt a more gentlemanly approach, which worked. Ivana, who was casually dating someone in Montreal, wasn't seeking a serious relationship, but Donald made an impression she couldn't ignore. He whisked her away on trips, surprised her with 100 roses during one vacation, and called her every other day for 3 months. At one point, he even flew to Canada just to surprise her during a runway show. Their bond deepened, and when Donald invited her on a Christmas vacation to Aspen, it marked a turning point. During the trip, he proposed in his signature dramatic fashion, telling Ivana she had to marry him or her life would be ruined. To everyone's surprise, this bold approach worked, and she said yes. Just 3 months later, on April 9, 1977, they were married at the Marble Collegiate Church in New York City, followed by a honeymoon in Mexico. During this trip, Ivana discovered she was pregnant, and on December 31, 1977, on the first anniversary of their engagement, she gave birth to their first child, Donald Jr. They had 2 more children, Ivanka in 1981 and Eric in 1984. From an outside perspective, their marriage appeared to be thriving, a fairy tale life. Ivana later admitted that Donald wasn't very involved with their children until they grew old enough to discuss business. At the time, though, it didn't bother her much. Their relationship was so strong that they became both life partners and business partners. Ivana played a pivotal role in building the Trump empire and was instrumental in shaping the business. Soon after their marriage, Donald made her vice president of interior design at the Commodore Hotel, which he was transforming into the Grand Hyatt Hotel. She also contributed to the construction of Trump Tower and the Trump Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City. Eventually, she became president of the Plaza Hotel. Together, they were one of the most powerful couples of their era. Sadly, their marriage ended after 12 years when Ivana discovered that Donald was having an affair with another model, Marla Maples. Donald had a reputation as a ladies' man, but Ivana believed that marriage and parenthood would change him. She was mistaken. During a family trip to Aspen, Ivana ran into Marla outside a restaurant, where other diners were watching. Marla approached her, declared that she was in love with Donald, and even asked Ivana if she loved him too. Ivana, taken aback, managed to respond that she still loved her husband. The encounter left her shaken, and the news of it spread quickly, adding tension to an already fragile marriage. Despite Ivana's attempts to stay strong for her family, she knew their relationship was over. In March 1990, Ivana officially filed for divorce, and a few months later, she stepped down from the Trump Organization. The divorce was a prolonged ordeal, dragging on for about 2 years. Ivana had signed a prenuptial agreement that capped her settlement at $25 million, but her attorney argued that it was unfair and possibly fraudulent, seeking a higher amount based on her contributions to the Trump empire. Given the public and contentious nature of the divorce, many anticipated lingering animosity between them. Surprisingly, after the dust settled, they managed to co-parent amicably and even maintained their friendship over the years. Ivana was present at Donald's presidential inauguration in 2017, illustrating their continued good relationship. Former White House aide Omarosa Manigault Newman even disclosed that Donald frequently sought Ivana's advice while in office. Sadly, Ivana passed away on July 14, 2022, at age 73, and Donald praised her as a wonderful, beautiful, and amazing woman who lived an inspirational life. This bittersweet note is especially poignant considering Donald's affair during their marriage. Following their split, one might have thought that Donald would give Marla Maples some space, particularly as she played a role in their separation. However, their relationship quickly deepened and flourished despite the media frenzy surrounding Donald's family and divorce. Just as everyone assumed things had calmed down, they shocked the public by announcing Marla's pregnancy shortly after their divorce was finalized. Their daughter, Tiffany, was born in 1993, and just months later, Donald and Marla were married. Unfortunately, their marriage only lasted 3 years. Donald had met Marla in 1985 while still married to Ivana, and their relationship began as a friendship that gradually turned romantic. By the summer of 1989, they could no longer keep their relationship secret, and Marla was frequently seen with Donald, even moving on to his yacht, the Trump Princess. Interestingly, Marla was aware of Donald's marriage but chose to stay, believing her love for him was too strong to walk away. She later admitted that she never saw herself as merely a mistress. Marla shared that she prayed for divine guidance throughout their relationship, asking God not to involve her in anything without a chance of success. It appeared her prayers were answered when they eventually married. Although Marla wished their relationship had started only after the divorce was finalized, she believed that everything unfolded as it needed to for them to marry. Their affair, once just a rumor, gained widespread attention after an infamous confrontation between Marla and Ivana in Aspen in 1989. Reports claimed that Donald flew Marla out to join his family vacationing there. According to Marla, while having lunch with Donald, a heated argument broke out between him and Ivana. In a dramatic moment, Ivana called out Marla's name, accusing her of being the woman who had been involved with her husband for years. Eyewitnesses reported that Ivana professed her love for Donald and insisted Marla keep away from him and their family, but Marla did not comply. Less than a year later, she explained that she remained involved because Ivana was not truthful. Marla alleged that Donald often confided in her about his unhappiness in his marriage, despite Ivana's encouragement for him to work things out with his family. Ultimately, it was not enough to save their marriage. The year Donald and Marla divorced was marked by intense media attention, forcing Marla to spend 2 months avoiding photographers. Despite her attempts to stay out of the public eye, she couldn't escape the tabloids, even landing a controversial quote on the cover of the New York Post that she later denied. In the years after their tumultuous relationship, Donald and Marla's relationship was on and off. But everything changed in 1993 when Marla became pregnant with their first child, Tiffany, which she described as the greatest unplanned surprise. This led Donald, who had vowed never to marry again after his divorce from Ivana, to propose to Marla. They were married on December 20, 1993, in an opulent ceremony. At the Plaza Hotel's ballroom, despite Marla's wish for a modest wedding, the event attracted around 1,000 attendees, including prominent figures like Howard Stern, Rosie O'Donnell, and O.J. Simpson. Marla made a grand entrance in a breathtaking Carolina Herrera gown, complemented by a $2 million Harry Winston tiara, making the occasion unforgettable. Unfortunately, their marriage was short-lived, ending just 3 years later in May 1997. Marla cited differing worldviews and approaches to parenting as primary reasons for the separation. She admitted feeling out of place in the lavish lifestyle, describing her role as a wealthy wife as playing a part rather than living true to herself. Following the separation, Marla and Donald were embroiled in a bitter divorce battle for the next 2 years. Although Mara had signed a prenuptial agreement, she argued that she hadn't been given sufficient time to review its terms. After a protracted court struggle, Mara chose to step away to avoid further emotional and physical tolls. In a surprising twist, more than 20 years later, a copy of their prenup was leaked, revealing that since their marriage had lasted less than 5 years, Mara was entitled to just $1 million, plus an additional $1 million for buying a house. After the divorce, Mara faced significant financial challenges, even having to sell her engagement ring and other belongings to survive. She often found it ironic that people assumed she left with a considerable fortune when, in reality, she had only a couple of $1 million and her dignity left, despite her association with a married man. Despite the rocky end to their marriage and the ensuing chaos, Mara and Donald managed to keep a friendly relationship. They even reunited for an appearance on Oprah Winfrey's Where Are They Now? In 2003, where Mara expressed that she still had fond feelings for Donald and his children, Eric, Ivanka, and Donald Jr. In an unexpected turn of events, they celebrated Easter together in April 2003. While dealing with the complexities of his divorce, Donald was also broadening his social network, meeting new people, and building relationships, including with his future wife, Melania Trump. Even as he dealt with the aftermath of previous relationships, it was during this time that he met Melania, and their connection developed into a romance that lasted several years before their wedding in 2005. Their son, Barron, was born in 2006. Melania has remained by Donald's side throughout various legal challenges, his presidential campaign, time in the White House, and numerous court cases. People have often wondered how Donald and Melania first met and what attracted him to her, especially given their age difference. They first crossed paths at a gathering in New York City in 1998, where Donald tried to get Melania's phone number, but she declined, mainly because he was linked to another woman at the time. However, Donald was undeterred, believing he could change her mind. Their initial encounter wasn't the end. They rekindled their connection, bonded over a mutual love for music, particularly artists like Elvis Presley and Elton John. Melania recalled how Donald would play loud music in their home and invite her to dance, deepening their bond. Their shared passion for movies, ranging from classic films to westerns, also played a key role in their relationship, as Melania noted that Donald's diverse tastes mirrored her own. This common ground, along with shared pastimes, fostered a long-lasting relationship, despite the challenges. Melania and Donald began dating shortly after their initial meeting, though rumors initially suggested that she left him after seeing an ex-girlfriend leave his apartment. Melania and Donald Trump eventually reconciled and revived their relationship. Melania expressed her admiration for Donald, stating that she found him powerful and attractive. According to the New York Post, they separated again in 2000 but quickly reunited. Melania maintained that she believed Donald was strong and handsome. He was ready to propose once more as their relationship improved and circumstances became more favorable. In 2004, the Met Gala provided a romantic backdrop for his proposal, which she accepted. The couple married on January 22, 2005, at Bethesda by the Sea Episcopal Church in Palm Beach, Florida. The ceremony was attended by notable figures, including former President Bill Clinton, Barbara Walters, Governor Rudy Giuliani, and Regis Philbin. During their reception at Donald's Mar-a-Lago estate, Billy Joel performed, making the event memorable. In late 2006, they welcomed their son, Barron, which surprised Donald due to the speed at which they had their first child. However, he was delighted and shared that he had chosen the name Barron for as long as he could remember and was thrilled to finally use it. Following Barron's birth, Melania largely stayed out of the public eye, focusing on raising their son and maintaining a degree of privacy. Despite being married to a wealthy man, Melania continued to work on her business ventures and supported Donald's career, balancing the challenges of public life with her family's privacy. In 2015, Donald made the pivotal decision to run for president and formally announced his candidacy. Melania voiced her complete support for his political aspirations, even though she often preferred staying home to care for Barron. When Donald won the election in 2016, the Trump family prepared to move into the White House. Melania made history as the First Lady born outside the U.S. since 1829. In her speech, she aimed to distinguish herself from previous First Ladies by focusing on initiatives that supported women, children, and various charitable causes. Initially, Melania and Barron stayed in New York City to allow him to finish the school year. They moved into the White House after it concluded. Despite the controversies surrounding Donald's administration, Melania maintained a relatively low profile, although she was not entirely shielded from public attention. Her previous nude photos sparked debates, but she continued to present herself with elegance and poise. The couple chose to keep their relationship largely private, appearing together only occasionally in public. This strategy faced a significant test in 2018 when allegations surfaced regarding Donald's alleged affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels, who claimed he paid her $130,000 to remain silent. Melania found herself navigating the challenges of public perception while attempting to support her husband as scrutiny on their marriage intensified.